BTF. The Rising Inferno. Maybe. How much spirit is left in the tank? Cursed again. And number crunching and predictive analysis for week 9 from Stat Boy Mortsy. Welcome back to Beyond the Fist, Street Fighter League Livecast talk show presented by Toga TV. SplicedHelix, Mortsy, togashiazrael for your Street Fighter League Pro US Season 2 coverage. Video footage from Street Fighter League Pro US is used with permission from Capcom. Follow the Capcom Pro Tour and Street Fighter League on Twitch at twitch.tv/CapcomFighters, on YouTube at youtube.com/CapcomFightersTV, and on Facebook Live at facebook.com/CapcomFighters. The second half of Season 2 continues with Week 8 and the second week of runbacks. Starting us off was the rematch of Team Inferno versus Team Storm. In their previous matchup, Team Storm shocked the Season 1 champions after Mojo's target ban revealed a deadly pocket poison, defeating Brawly Legs. Punk's questionable decision to go with new character Lucia instead of main Karen, and a target ban from Storm on JB's Rashid led to a relatively straightforward 3-0 for 801 Strider and his crew of upstarts. The champs have since surged and are looking to make a play for a top 4 spot. Here are your highlights. Team Inferno versus Team Storm.
That's because that's exactly the answer, actually. Ooh.
Oh, check the pedigree.
Always ready with the confirms is Tommy 2-7. You know what's funny? We kind of mentioned in that previous game is that even when he has like the punish ready, sometimes he'll opt to go for a different route for the reset to kind of keep you on your toes, right?
Yeah.
You go for the reset and try to get something else, maybe a frame trap. Just, he likes to snowball.
Oh, wow. That bad boy has some
Oh.
range. Whoa. I was looking only at Urian and I just saw the foot. I literally just pow, like, oh man, that would have hit me.
The whole clan, huh?
Right? Oh, I like that tackle. Even better, the challenge right after by Broly Legs. Dashes up, gets right back into that fireball range. And Tommy,
Ooh.
that movement, that back and forth dash. There's a forward throw coming from Chun-Li.
Oh, that was very, very
That was
deep, too. I didn't even know Tommy 2-7 was able to contest from that far away. Into the mirror. Reset.
Didn't take the bait. Oh, nice EX spinning bird kick. Air to air.
Oh, he tried walking out of the throw range.
Needs to be careful. One more mirror left.
Oh, into it again.
Okay, it could have been worse. Could have been
Reset.
worse.
Oh.
Nice back dash. That's why I like that. It's not bad to take that. Uses the bar.
Overhead.
Nice block. View reversal again. Anything's gonna do it.
Oh,
And,
the violent knee drop with the call out from Tommy's reactions. With these hooligans. That's the second time Mojo has interrupted that. He's completely ready for it. You can't pull those shenanigans on me. Maybe he might be going for EX Hooligan. I'm not too sure. We've seen that before with EX Hooligan going into the dive kick.
I don't know. It's still.
Oh, regular wingless airplane. Okay.
You can't get to. I mean, we
Got
talk.
yourself a private jet.
One of Cammy's strengths is the fact that she can change her trajectory on entry. But Mika has the option to call out some of those entries. She can use EX. She can just use normal if she needs to. That's what we've been seeing. Block the V reversal there. Still plenty of meter on the side of Punk. Oh, stand.
What? That was early.
Oh, the body splat. The corner, too. Backdash a little bit. Plenty of meter on both sides. 2 EX bars each. Only a V reversal's worth of V meter on both sides, too. 50 seconds.
Oh.
And just walking up, look at Punk playing super confident when it comes to the footsies. Crouching medium kick, not close enough to make anything big happen from it.
A little shy of critical art from both ends, right? Mojo getting a lot of these straight hits from the Sobot kick. Punk has just been running into them so far, trying to find an opening from the lows. Double V reversal, the gray life adding up against Mojo. Oh.
This is a very dangerous situation.
Oh,
this is why you cannot
God.
do that. Standing Fierce activate into CA. And this is looking a little familiar.
He was going to be able to chip immediately after with a dash, maybe tornado into critical art, but I don't know. I think 801 Strider just built that V reversal. But either way, JB getting that throw to finish off that round.
starts
Lockdown.
with the EX, and you see the little hesitation there. Made 801 Strider get hit, maybe holding forward. Yeah, you already know that EX has a lot of activity on it. Stays active for a very long time, and that hitbox is good too. Oh,
It's like they put their beds together. Just so much more room for activities. Here comes that V trigger.
Oh, wow. Go straight for the Tatsu right after, too. Gets the full extension.
Oh! Can't do much about that. You have to sit there and block it. You don't even want to try to move or jump to anticipate the Eagle Spike. Nice confirmed there from Strider.
Pressure with the stand medium punch. All right, trigger's gone. Rashid has a V reversal, gets the counter hit. That's going to be 2-0 on the side.
For everybody, the entire clan.
That's a dodo?
I don't know.
I thought it was a kiwi.
Probably a kiwi. A fruit?
No, it's a bird. All right, here we go.
Kiwi's a fruit.
And a bird. All right. Oh, wow. Lands on the EX. Why is JB playing like a machine right now? Don't reset this dude. Oh, man. Okay, okay. All right, Tommy says enough.
Oh.
Another one.
Man, the defense has been great. He'll take that throw.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
He won't take that counter hit, though. The drop.
That was so important. Tommy needed that to keep the momentum, and he is in danger right now. There's the activation. JB trying to get away a little bit. 60 seconds left on the clock. 1 bar. EX working on 2 for Urian. JB sitting pretty with 2 EX bars. Wow,
no punish.
One prepared for it. Goes for a regular tackle. Both of these guys still sitting on 1 EX bar. JB working on 2. No trigger available. Not even a V reversal.
No,
Big
he just
jump
jumped
in.
in.
JB.
You just jump.
You know why I said it, Steve? Do you want to know why I really said it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to see some more Street
Okay,
Fighter,
all right.
baby.
Just being sure.
Ow. Ooh.
The whiff punish. Back throw. Uh-oh.
Man, these guys are slugging it out.
Hope that stand medium kick.
He's like, thanks for the V-trigger.
Trying to get a bait out of him. HP spinning mixer this time. He says, I'm tired of you doing the splat, changing it up on me. Oh, this time.
Oh, spit the last of it. Still managed to clip Mojo on the way up. That's a meaty.
Oh, no, in the trade. I would have went straight to Cieta back. That's the command throw. JB. Oh, the V reversal. Better be careful of the meter.
Don't get it confirmed. JB gets it confirmed with critical art. It's over. Mojo needs to play it safe and cautiously here.
He's trying to get meter, so if he gets an EX bar, this could be over with a touch for Mojo as well. It's gonna take that entire ball. Oh, the pressure. You got the fourth throw. It's not
Mojo
over.
has one more chance to get a call.
Oh,
my God.
For JB. Brawly Leg said it. Samurai who? Samurai what? That man's a piece of cat compared to me.
All right. Last episode, we brought up that A4 members SplicedHelix and togashiazrael were both rooting for Brawly Legs to get 1 win.
Let's go, Broly.
Unfortunately for the both of us, it wasn't meant to be again. A friend of the show, Tommy Two-Step, continues to impress with his Urian and seems to be the overlooked player on Team Storm, as opposing teams so far have opted to accept the Urian matchup and target either Team Captain 801 Strider or Mika Specialist Mojo, even though Mojo has shown strength in his character pool, which has led to Team Storm's good record to this point. Is Tommy's Two-Step being disrespected by not being target banned after solid performances throughout this season? Mortsy.
That's actually a very good question. Due to his performance, he has been playing really well. There were a couple, I mean, we saw a few drops in the past against JB where he could have probably done some great stuff, but at the same time, so everyone bans G1. That's... I don't think anyone's we're not debating on that at all. I don't think anyone would. But I think the other thing is it's like, fuck, man, I hate Mika. Everyone's just like, damn, I don't want to play Mika. And they'd rather deal with a secondary from Mojo than have to be like, honestly though, Urian isn't a whole lot better in that regard. But Mika feels far more volatile. Because it doesn't, at least with Urian, just I'll just take the throw every time and then take the It's whatever. But Mika, it's you take the throw, you're back into it. There's no V trigger required for her schmicks. So it's I get it, and I think also all the players just have immense respect for Mojo. He's very, very, very. He's a very strong player. He's very patient, and I don't think he's the Mika that a lot of people are used to fighting. He's no Chakotay, And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just feel like that their fighting styles differ greatly. Mojo is probably more in line with Fudo's style of play than Chakotay's kind of go. Allez-vous. I'm going, forward, splash, forward, jump in, you know? That's just, Chakotay is a very offensive player, while Mojo is a bit more patient. So, I don't necessarily think he's being disrespected. I do think on other teams, he would be worthy of a ban. But, just due to the way their team is and the characters they have, I think it's fair that he's not getting targeted. Plus, Tommy having a secondary that's he's played for a long time is, I think, also a strong deterrent as well.
All right, no, that's 100% fair. I think he also has a lot of knowledge on this particular matchup, obviously, because his secondary is Chun-Li. SplicedHelix, talk to me about Tommy Two-Step and how pivotal his role is for Team Storm right now.
I think he's that not really unknown, but he's that X factor. You know, you're gonna aim your bans elsewhere, and then you still have to deal with. He's playing real solid for him. You know, he's making it so that they don't have an easy way through no matter who you ban. So he's doing well. He's doing what he needs to do, and I don't think he's being disrespected. I think they're respecting him just as much, but they know it's easier to deal with Urian than it is, say, Mika in the corner.
No, that's fair. I mean, it's 8 weeks now, so seven weeks of gameplay. Still no ban on that Urian. Obviously 801 Striders G taking the brunt of the bans, at least so far. Do you think that they're going to even think about targeting Urian in the last 3 weeks?
I think somebody might, but somebody might not, and it's either way. I don't think he's being disrespected by it at all.
I don't know if anyone will target the Urian because it's not. I don't know if he has any matchups here where it's like, oh god, we can't play against. There's no. It doesn't really feel like there's any matchups that fit that description. I don't necessarily have the greatest knowledge of Urian's matchups, but that doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like the case where it's like a Nash. There's no like a Nash. Oh my god, I cannot play against Cammy kind of deal, right? You're not. I don't see that issue coming up with Urian. Whereas with the Mika, I don't even think it's like Mika doesn't have that. It's Mika. And there's always that volatility factor that you have to deal with. And that exists for Urian too, but to a more focused extent, there's a very brief period of time where it's volatile, and then it becomes stable again.
Yeah, it's once he gets his trigger, it's, oh my gosh, now I have to watch out for all these shenanigans, or it's Mika, oh, the round started, I have to watch out for all these.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You just have to watch out for low forward when Urian has V-trigger good to go. Let's find a safe activation point, boys and girls. All right. Previous matchup between these two teams. Mojo's Mika was target banned, and Punk opted to go with new character Lucia, despite having Karen available to him. This time around, Mojo has his main ready to go, and Punk, without Karen, opted to go with one of his more practiced secondaries in Cammy. Now, prior to the match, which we didn't get the clip of, during the bans and player order announcement, Team Inferno Captain Punk claimed that he, quote, mains Street Fighter V, end quote. Undeterred, Mojo showed matchup knowledge and composure in a 2-1 victory. Is the Season 2 Punk problem the inability to win with a character that is not named Karin Kanzuki? SplicedHelix.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just think it's the warm-up. He's ramping up. He's getting there, But, I said when we were talking about the teams right after the draft order, I want to see somebody pick random select. I want to see somebody go on that character select screen and hit random select. It's not going to happen, but I want to see it. I don't think it's his inability to win. I think he's almost guaranteed a very close, if not a win with Karen. So I don't think it's an inability to win. I think it's just better decisions. Like, why pick Lucia? Why? I mean, I understand you won Season 1. and you're kind of cocky going into it, but that got shut down real quick. Real quick.
So does Cammy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mortsy, talk to me about Punk. Does he have a definitive problem when he's not using Karen?
I think we're seeing more issues with it here. And it's interesting, though, because historically he hasn't had these same issues. But when he's used these secondary characters, it's been against... he's been using them in the mirror, which has been really interesting. That's something that we saw this past weekend with ECT. And obviously, the SFL is a window into the past. But it's
he walked all over Knuckle Dude's G, man. That was sad to watch.
So, but the issue is that you can't get free mirror. So, and honestly, Cammy or Colleen are the characters you kind of expect that fit the bill far more. I mean, Lucia, Cammy, Colleen, Karen, they're all kind of fit the same bill. And I don't mean to say because they're all blonde.
I was about to point that out, yeah.
Yeah.
Blonde Fighter 5.
Blonde
It's
Fighter
more
5.
The way that they play neutral, especially Colleen, Lucia, they're very, very similar in that respect. But I just don't see... Punk just has been struggling with winning with a character that isn't Karen. And it's fine. I think it's okay because he has JB. When he doesn't have Karen, it means JB has Rashid. So it's not that big a deal, but it would be nice for him to be able to support. And I think his secondaries are still on a better line, but we've seen that even with those secondaries, he's still been struggling. Or he still hasn't been able to pick up wins, whereas other people have been able to do so. And I don't have the stats for this, but we'd also have to look at the matchups that he's gotten on these secondaries, because
true.
if we could just if we're talking about, for instance, when Mojo gets a secondary, or Mojo has to play Poison, but he's playing against Broly Legs, it's like, yeah, he picked up a win, but it's not like a significant win over someone's main. So if the matchups he's been getting have been really bad, not like have been difficult, as in he's playing against someone's main, then it's a different story as to if he was getting a secondary and playing against someone else's secondary. So he might not be picking up the wins on the secondary, but it's also it comes down to maybe they're still good losses. They're like, I can't blame you. I won 0-2, but I lost to Tokido and Punk. You can't feel bad about that kind of thing.
So, based on what we saw in the previous season, I'm just going to throw this out here as a sort of a tidbit and something to think about. Is this sort of like a visual tell that this season is significantly stronger? As Punk wiped the floor with his secondaries last season, as Karen was targeted over and over again?
I think the format makes this season stronger, because you've got a lot more in-depth strategy. You can't just keep banning the same person over and over and over. So that automatically makes it more difficult.
No, that's fair. Last word on anything, Mortsy, with Punk?
I think I don't know if the format. I think even without the format, that this season has a stronger core of players than previous season. I don't think it's not necessarily the format's issue. It wasn't necessarily the format's issue. It was more that there was more glaring weaknesses on teams where initially they were strong, but due to the format before, it made them appear to be much weaker than they actually were.
Mm-hmm.
It was more more extreme on the strength versus when they were weak. But I think this season is much stronger. But I don't know whether, again, it's still like a matchup-based thing.
Yeah.
Whether or not, I don't know if Punk losing to people with secondaries is indicative of a stronger core.
All right, we'll have to take a look at the stats for Punk's win-loss record with his secondaries to this point.
Yeah, I can drum it up next week or something.
Yep. All right. So we'll take a look at that one a little bit later. Enough about the people who lost their matchups. Let's talk about the one guy who won all three. Last episode, we talked about how Rashid would be available for JB and Team Inferno for 3 of the remaining 4 weeks of round-robin play in SFL Pro US Season 2. We got a taste of JB's strong defensive game in his comeback victory over Gale Captain Knuckle Dew last week. This week, we got a taste of JB's smothering offensive game with Rashid with a reverse sweep over all of Team Storm in dominating fashion. 6 wins, 0 losses. Last season was all about Punk's ability to carry the team. Can JB carry Team Inferno through to the playoffs and defending their Season 1 championship? Mortsy.
I guess I'd like to preface this with, damn, Rashid is some shit. All right? Because seeing JB, and I think he spent 100% of his meter on EX Whirlwind Shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he did. I don't know. I guess there was an Eagle Spike in there. I think there might have been an EX Eagle Spike in there. Maybe. Oh, he did it to punish a V reversal or something along those lines. Anyways, yeah. Damn, EX Whirlwind Shot is good. I don't even think Rashid is a problem. I think EX Whirlwind Shot is the problem. I think that is where a majority of the issue. You see, I don't think there are a lot of other characters who can corner carry their opponent on block.
That's a fair statement.
That's wild. You lose corner position for blocking, which is, I don't think any other character in the game has that ability. And I might be wrong. I can probably be wrong. But, yeah. So, but JB is an incredibly strong player. We've seen that. We saw it last season. We're seeing it this season. We've seen it during the Capcom Pro Tour. Mostly this season. I mean, previous season he's been doing really well, but he's really struck. Like, he's almost in Capcom Cup, for God's sake. He's like a few, maybe 100, maybe, I think he's less than 100 points back of having a place in Capcom Cup right now. So he, but in terms of SFL, it's very good because he's unchained, and then on top of that, he gets he gets 4 games. We even saw it that more teams were concerned in the first half of the season. I think we could probably say that based on the first half, that's the people that they're like, we want to get ahead early with our wins, and so teams were like, all right, we should ban Rashid. They feel that Punk is less of an issue than JB Rashid is.
That's a scary thought.
So JB is a fantastic player. Rashid is a fantastic character. And there's a very supreme lack of birdie players in this league. So he, and that's like, birdie's like one of the few, I think, true 5/5s that Rashid might have. Like some of the other top tier characters, there aren't that many of them. Mm-hmm. Prevalent in the league. G does not deal with EX Whirlwind Shot. And like maybe other Rashids.
Yeah.
So I think JB, on the core of Punk JB, I think they're going to continue to do well. And Punk needs to not continue to lose. Because it's going to be up to him. Or no, it's still up to just the one matchup where he gets to play Karen this time.
Yeah.
Who was it? Sorry, I have the stats. Who was it that banned? I think it's Frost who banned Karen?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. I love having it right there. Yeah. So Punk needs to do his best now. I think it's more important that he wins now than it was for him to win with Karen, because actually that's probably not true, but he needs to win. He needs to help. You can't pull an IDOM, Season 1 IDOM, and hope that Akuma or that Samurai wins everything. You can't hope your teammate wins everything. You have to put in some work. Mm-hmm. That goes for Broly Legs as well. He needs to start picking a win. But I think JB, on the back of JB, they might be able to make this claw their comeback.
Do they take the first seed?
No.
Okay, SplicedHelix, talk to me about JB. Should we be talking now about a JB problem and not a Punk problem?
I don't know if it's necessarily a problem. I think he's real strong. You know, I think it's nice for Inferno to have somebody else that they can go to for that instead of Punk. You know, it's like, well, crap, Punk's out. You know, do we have to worry about the rest of it? No, we don't. JB just will step up and do the same exact thing. I like that because Team Inferno, and you know, I enjoy that. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a problem as much as the Punk problem, because like that was season 1. That was a problem. It was a problem. I think JB's strong. I think he's really strong, and yeah, he OCV'd, but I'm not ready to say it's a JB problem yet.
All right, that's fair. JB, of course, last 2 weeks with Rashid 8-0. It wasn't even close. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one for sure. Week 8, match 2. The second match of the week was the run back between Team Spirit, oh dear lord, Team Spirit, and Team Gale. Previously, Gale showed their dominance in a 3-0 victory, and we even got clips of coaching. It was really, really dominant on all facets for Team Gale. Spirit continue the strong on paper curse with an extremely questionable decision last week, target banning a matchup and one of their own, which may have contributed to their defeat in Week 7. Will they right the ship, challenging the season's top team? Here are your highlights: Team Spirit versus Team Gale.
So good for Art that first round, too.
Nice punish there on the V-skill usage from NuckleDu. Sabin, again, firing away with the fierce. Pushing NuckleDu more towards the corner. The wheel kick successfully blocked by Sabin. Just playing it nice and easy. Doesn't want to overcommit. Anti-air is there.
Yeah, he's not going to let him keep getting those presidential levels, and he knows he's going for him now. And now he's trying to use it against him. NuckleDu getting a lot more active because he knows Dawson was kind of like scouting those power-ups in that stationary action.
There it is, yeah, just in range. After that tick throw, right, the stand jab into the command grab, a lot of damage, one more for stun.
The walk up, crouch short, he has full CA, and I think he's about to light it up.
A solid 2-0 victory over Team Spirit. Starting things off is the captain of Gale. And Shine, after the throw, checked him with the stand fierce. Had the 9-inch nails to her. Again, adds to the range of her punch normals because of V-Trigger 2.
Oh, I thought that was going to be an air-to-air right there.
Might have been an air throw. That could have happened, but it's just two ships passing in the night, really, with a jump towards each other. The fierce, firing away his Shine, getting the crush counter. The corner carry.
Yeah, full CA available and spent right now by Shine. CJ has a lot of meter on his side, though, but he's close to closing out. I like him conserving that meter.
I feel like that was more damage than a CA would have done right off the bat, right? If you hit raw critical art, it wouldn't do that much damage, nor have that much carry.
Right, you got to be able to utilize a lot of stuff. Gets the crush and the EX Parabellum hands. Uses the Vanity Step to get the Hailstorm on top of it. Oh no, that was bad. Thought it was going to be a confirm, just takes the knockdown. About 40 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, big target combo incoming, CJ True.
About to take the carry. Yep, Parabellum in the open. Forward
throw. Gotta do it again. Nope. Vanity Step out. Icicle Step. In fact, on the way over.
Oh. Dash up. The tick throw works this time. It's a back throw, too.
Oh, my God.
Chunk.
Yeah, plus frame still. Still plus. You can't press a button.
Oh, didn't confirm. Had the hit with the last of that trigger, was not ready for it. Almost 10 seconds left on the clock. The life lead is in CJ's favor. How many matches is he going to time us out? Not this
and
one.
that's a back throw, too. Extra damage on that.
He was thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah, because the information given by NuckleDu was like he likes to space himself out with the backdash and then come right in, chase it down. So that's a very, very excellent call out. A very risky one at that, but it paid off dividends. Nice call from Rob TV, taking the advice of his captain. And again, that Thunderclap is something Idom's really trying to figure out how to initiate his offense with. But Rob TV all over it right now. Great backdash.
He needs to be careful, especially now. Idom out of the corner, spinning a little EX. Only yes two. Half full CA right there. Big damage.
No, I lied.
Back throw. There's the side switch. Rob is in control. activation. No V reversal on the side of Rob. Oh, wow, thought he was going to be safe. Full conversion coming from Idom. Goes for the Oki instead with the EX Sparks Bolt. Oh, that was so dirty. Still
He
not
went
gonna
for the
do
reset.
job. The V reversal.
Oh, you're dead. You're actually dead.
Punch, and that's done and done. That's the one. Rob TV dapping up the whole.
Still
What a
living.
gamble. What a gamble. CJ Truth living.
The two Floridians, eternal rivals, long-time
Look at-
Street Fighter players.
The way NuckleDu is playing this, you can tell he's playing everybody. The way he's playing CJ Truth, I haven't seen anybody play him like this the entire season. This entire season.
Oh,
Oh, this is a bad situation. Full trigger available this time around. Gonna get the double dash. No anti-air. Oh, the crouching medium kick on the way out. Tries to go for the throw. Look how aggressive NuckleDu is being. But look at the trigger on the side of Colleen. There it is.
Oh, no.
No dash caught. You're done.
no, not quite. Didn't have the meter to extend anything, right? It was just raw damage.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the back throw.
throw.
Oh,
Another throw.
one. Oh,
We barely missed. Oh, sit him down. That was an overhead, and it just so happened to catch the end of the vanity step, actually on the.
All right. With Dulcim available this time around, Sabin had a tall order in facing a fully capable NuckleDu. With G now available in his arsenal as well, NuckleDu seemed very well versed in the matchup, taking full advantage of Sabin's patient play to maximize G's potential and close it out with a 2-0 victory. We've talked about Sabin being the exploitable weakness for Team Spirit before, has having no depth, and his play so far explained Team Spirit's record. SplicedHelix.
Well, no, you got to blame the whole team. I mean, sure, that's a part of it, but I just watching that, NuckleDu knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, he shut him down the whole time. It was painful to watch. I mean, and sad, Sabin's it's kind of like season one. A whole lot of people seem to come into season one not having a secondary for something that required a secondary. And you would think, I mean, yeah, he might have gotten picked a little bit late because of things that happened. But still, at that point, I got to go lab this character for like 12 hours straight. You got to get something. Everybody's going to be ready for you because they know exactly what you're going to do, what you're going to pick.
All right, Mortsy, is this on Sabin or is this on the whole team?
Definitely whole team. Easy. I think that's an easy whole team, especially because specifically in this match, G Sim's bad. When your opponent can full screen everything, it sucks. Especially when your opponent can full screen plus or just go in when he's in V trigger too. You can't do any PB skills. Even if you teleport, you get hit. I think if you teleport late, and then you can just react to bad teleports afterwards anyway. So it's just you just have to take the pressure. So it sucks. But definitely the whole team thing. This loss, I feel like we're going to be talking about it. Do we talk about...
We'll be talking about the bottom two a little bit, yeah.
So this loss is definitely... And the whole team's record. I think CJ's probably... CJ, I don't think has ever had a really... I mean, he's the one who picked up a win this time, right? But I think that, yeah, this is definitely... I think Sabin's performed not up to what most people think he probably would. I think CJ Truth is similarly, and I don't think anyone expected Adam to lose. So, yeah, we'll get to that, but I don't think it's not on art.
All right. After finally revealing that he still has a Cammy after weeks of Karen and Colleen, CJ Truth was finally targeted for the ban with Cammy not restricted. On the other side, Shine's Ibuki, a perennial target from last season, was also banned for this run-back matchup. Both opted to go with Colleen, and in the always volatile mirror match, CJ Truth came out on top with his experience with the character. Shine's success rate with Colleen seems to mirror that of his jury from Season 1, but with the remaining weeks, however, Shine is free to use Ibuki for the rest of the season. How crucial is Shine's success to the success of Team Gale overall, Mortsy?
Shine needs to freaking win, bro. Shine needs to win, but I mean, it's freaking NuckleDo, who has very strong secondaries, and it's Rob TV, and I don't think we're seeing Karen banned outside of Psycho, and we already did that. So I think it's important, and would be really nice if Shine won, but I don't think that's what's really nice about Gale, dude. They're deep. Mm-hmm. They're hella deep, bro. So thinking about Ibuki. I think Shine is... It's more just like they have another point you have to worry about. Instead of dealing with Mr. G volatility, you have to deal with Ibuki volatility. And then a still strong NuckleDo. Honestly, I feel like banning Ibuki was more of a priority. Should have been more a priority, because then you had to deal with... and honestly, the Colleen's better than the jury. Easy. Mm-hmm. I think that Colleen, and not just because she's a higher tier character, but just in general. I mean... It might have been a 2-0, but it was still Shine taking round from CJ Truth, who has practiced this Colleen extensively. So you know what? It's cool. Like Shine's done well on his secondary, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the actually being able to play Ibuki, which he has already taken wins with in the first half.
All right, SplicedHelix. I know you hate her. Talk to me about Ibuki. And how dangerous is Gale right now?
I don't want to talk about Ibuki. Why are you going to make me do that? Gale is pretty dangerous. Pretty much everything Morty said. They've got depth of roster. You know, it's not crucial or critical for Shine to win with Ibuki simply because you've got everybody else. You still have to beat them too. You know, if he doesn't win, you still have to deal with NuckleDo, and you still have to deal with Rob TV. And like you said, Karen's not going anywhere. So, you know, it's more of a taking out Team Gale rather than taking out this person on Team Gale. So you're always going to have to worry about all of them. So your question earlier for number 1 seed, I think it goes to Gale.
Yeah, we're going to touch on that on the last topic, but since once you brought up IDOM, let's talk about IDOM just for a little bit. How impressed were you with Rob TV's handling of that matchup?
Is this one of the topics?
It's not. I just threw it out there.
We are not. This isn't one of the topics?
Yeah. I go to...
This is the only reason Gale won. I think, I mean, we just literally just saw NuckleDo trounce IDOM ECT, but this is like, you beat the thing that was set free, and it was the worst player on your team. Comparatively, like to the other, to Do and Shine. I think you put Rob TV as number 3, but behind Shine and NuckleDo, it's insignificant, right? Mm-hmm. But like the fact that he took down Laura, IDOM Laura, it's just like, all right, this is free for us now. We just win. Yeah. Like, that is the whole threat of Team Spirit, is that you have to deal with Laura at some point. And that threat was dealt with by the 3rd strongest person on your team. That is an embarrassment, Team Spirit. I'd go as far to say it was, like, that cannot happen.
But it's the 3rd strongest person on Gale.
It doesn't matter. You cannot lose that.
It's like you got dunked on by Scottie Pippen. That's not even Michael Jordan. Come on.
But it's like, the issue is that when IDOM has Laura, he needs to win.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
He cannot lose. He needs to beat, and if he's going to lose, he needs to lose to people the strong players on his opponent's team, or at least so that he can either, he doesn't tire them out because it's not a physical sport, but it's like he has to either take down other people on the opposing team, and he cannot just lose first game. He has to at least take some wins and help his team when he is on his main character. He cannot afford to go 0-1. Yeah, 0-1 when he has access to Laura. It's unacceptable.
We're going to have to crunch the stat and how he's doing with Laura this season thus far, but that was... Rob TV played a little bit out of his mind.
Oh yeah,
to find ways to work here, right?
Yeah, I shouldn't. I can't attribute that loss completely to the item. Obviously, Rob TV played very, very well, and credit where credit is due. Rob TV played fantastic, but I think my point stands on that.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Statistically, for sure, when IDOM is on Laura, Team Spirit's chances to win should be higher.
Yeah, 100%.
But it right now they're going to be on the outside looking in. It's going to look a lot like last season where Team Spirit and Team Psycho now
they're tied for last. Dude.
They're tied for last at 2-5 exactly. So someone's going to have to pick it up to get. You need help at 5-5 to make this top 4 playoff. You actually
they were
do.
Second place. They were the team we were like they're content for first.
We were talking about it.
Tied for last 8 weeks in.
Yeah, we were in the preview show. We said strong on paper, strong on paper.
Yep.
My goodness, these two teams cursed once again. Let's touch on. We added a topic randomly. That was hilarious. I was supposed to. We should have talked about the IDOM thing a little bit more because I already talked about Knuckle Dude. But excuse me, fired the writing staff. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Knuckle Dude's G, who as previously mentioned was fully unleashed in this match with Team Spirit. 2 matches, 4 game wins, 0 losses. It seems clear that G is Knuckle Dude's main moving forward, and his ability to play with Mika-style aggression with G is astounding. We mentioned that Shine was free to use Ibuki for the remainder of the season, but the same cannot be said for Knuckle Dude's G. We've seen him perform well with other characters throughout the course of the season, but with teams like Inferno and Frost surging forward, can Team Gale hang on to the #1 spot that they've had all season so far? SplicedHelix.
He's still got Guile. Of course they can. That's it. It's Guile.
Don't want to.
I just want to look at the schedule. They have.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have a problem with it. He's got Guile. He's got Mika. Didn't he play Cammy once?
He did play Cammy once, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it'll affect them that much. I mean, it's G, so it won't be an automatic win anymore. But I think he'll do fine. He's got Guile.
Mortsy, are we looking at the #1 seed going into the playoffs at Capcom Cup?
Okay, so I'm looking at the stat. I want to make an informed decision here. So I'm looking at the stats. The remaining 3 teams they have to play are Psycho, Storm, and Frost. So we can assume there were 5-2 right now. We can assume after next week they're going to be 6-2.
More on that later. Keep going.
They have the G ban available next week, but it's going to be messy not next week, but against Storm. They have a G ban available, but that gets super, super messy. Actually, it's messy next week as well, but we'll talk about that. And then they have a Rashid ban against Frost. So honestly, I can see them not losing for the rest.
So that finishes them at 8-2. Is that enough to hold the #1 seed?
Yes. Everyone else
has more losses. Yes, that is actually enough.
Games, they literally can't be in second.
Yeah. If they win out, they've got #1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I do see is if they can. I think Storm has the highest chance. So I guess Storm and Frost, but I think Storm has the highest chance. They don't ban if neither team bans G. Both teams can ban G.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it next week once when we have to really talk about it. But other than that, I guess obviously Samurai Akuma will also be their final, the final roadblock of the bump in their path to a guaranteed first seed. So I have this also is assuming that every other team doesn't.
Yeah.
So even if they are currently sitting in the best spot because they're at least going to be 6-2.
Yeah.
So they're looking very, very likely to hold that first seed. On top of that, the other teams that are currently tied for with 4-3 records, Storm, Inferno, Frost. So if they win, keep
going.
That was direct.
That was
pointed at you, viewers.
So it's really important because 2 of them are head-to-head.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically a 2-win swing. If they win, it takes away a possible win from their opponent. So it's going to be very, very important that they pick up those victories. And then on top of that, it becomes very much more likely if they do.
All right.
It is very interesting to say, though. I just want to double check. Who won the...
Their wins are good for Inferno, too.
The only team that they've lost to is Frost.
Mm-hmm. So that tiebreaker might be important.
Yeah, I was gonna exactly. This is actually a really interesting tiebreaker. If they're 7-2 and they lose to Frost, they lose. They go into second. If Frost keeps a perfect record, so that's that could actually we could be working up to a really neat climax for the end of the season.
All right, let me devil's advocate just a little bit further, even though we're getting way ahead of ourselves. But we do talk all things Street Fighter League in general. Is Team Gale the best American team to take on Team Japan?
Yes.
SplicedHelix.
I think maybe Shine and Punk accidentally switched jerseys. And then,
all right, that's fair.
Then we're guaranteed yes, but as of right now, yeah.
All right.
Outside of matchup, yes, they're the strongest team. If we were just be like, pick one team right now, which is obviously what we're doing.
Yeah.
Regardless of what team, it's just like you don't know what the enemy force looks like. Throw them forward. Obviously, once we know the Japanese team, we could be like, all right, maybe this team would have been better as a purely in a matchup situation. Take them on, but right now, I think if we're just gonna send our best man, we're sending Gale.
Yeah. All right. No,
just statistically, you've got Knuckle Dew and you've got Rob TV, who are both winning plenty of games, and you got Shine, who wins when he can. You know, I would say the second best team would be Inferno. You've got JB who can sweep a team. You've got Punk who can sweep a team, and you've got Broly who can be swept by a team.
Also very interesting, depending on the format, on whether or not there will be.
Yeah, in the playoffs, we don't know how the ban format's going to work, or even.
Do they not have bans in Japan?
They do.
I don't know. They do?
I'm pretty sure that they do, but we'll have to look into that a little bit more. But I think they do have bans in their side as well.
So it means there will probably be. Could you imagine they play a single? They're going to play a single set. Is what they're. If they play a single set, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Because
the bans will be so important.
Yeah, we don't know exactly the obviously after the playoffs when it's US champion versus Japan champion, if there are going to be bans at all or if it's going to be a thing, and depending
that
on
also greatly affects it.
Yeah, and the other thing that we have to keep in mind, it is at Capcom Cup as well. So any of the players that are in Capcom Cup that are also participating in this, huge pressure.
Sandbagging.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, it's $90,000, but Mortsy, go ahead.
Knowing that it's at Capcom Cup, and obviously the teams already know who won. Mm-hmm. The individual teams, which means that since the first week, the victorious team has been practicing. Oh wait, no, we haven't done playoffs.
No, they haven't done playoffs. The playoffs are at Capcom Cup as well. Yeah,
I guess there's the 4 teams, but we can say that they've been practicing. The teams who are in playoffs ideally have been practicing their second.
Yeah, I assume that all bans are open now when they go into the playoffs as well. There's no restriction on bans anymore. But we'll have to take a look at that. Moving a little bit more forward, that'll do it for match number 2. Let's talk about match number 3. Team Frost versus Team Psycho. Final match of the week. Team Frost seems to have fallen off as of late. Strong start. Thanks to the play of OCV King, Samurai has since faltered as teams have switched their targets for their bans against Frost and stalling their momentum. Additionally, the play of Dual Kevin, we touched on it last week, and his main Rashid has been suspect when tasked with carrying the team to victories. Once again, the target for the ban, Samurai continues to go with the face of the franchise, leaving teammates Dual Kevin and Sherry Jennings to try and find some victories to help him along the way. Psycho finds themselves cursed again, but still in the running. Automatic has shown flashes of brilliance with Sagat, and his team has been finding ways to sneak out game victories. Key matchup for Psycho to keep their hopes alive. Before I go into the highlights, Mortsy, you had something to say?
Yes, I just want to say, because we did do predictions.
Yes.
So before we reveal the winner, I thought I'd quickly mention them so that we'll see. But, so both myself and Toga said Psycho, and Helix said Frost.
Okay.
For the record.
All right. Here we go. Your highlights, Team Frost versus Team Psycho.
Second game, first round, gets the perfect. Sherry needs to turn this around.
Oh.
Okay. Didn't believe in the crouching strong.
I mean, it's hard to really, just because if you don't have the charge, you're not going to get disc guidance. If anything, you probably get like a light stomp, but that far out, it might whiff.
Look at the stun right there. Sherry holding her ground. Okay.
Oh, big jump in. No, slightly missed the cross up.
Dashes all the way up, needs to be careful. Double crouch and jab, kind of for the chase, but nothing. Oh, the Smug is just having too easy of a time walking Sherry to these corners.
If it's not one corner, it's the next. Ran into the second part of the stomp.
Still, there you go. You have to use some of those smaller buttons sometimes, especially because he has so much range. That's not going to kill,
nope.
But that damage is pretty high.
One more sequence. Gray life is there. Any sort of poke?
And just a normal right there, making Sherry swing for the fences with the DP, and that was that. The punch.
Against Dankady is putting him at match point.
Stasis, trying to stay above those fireballs. Samurai walking back and forth before committing to one is really throwing off Dankady as his play. Oh, dashes. Go forward in the fireball. Got a counter hit on it too. Luckily no knockdown, but he is fighting out of the corner. Another low forward, not close enough to get the combo.
Trying to get the stasis to force Samurai to jump with him, right? That
Just
opened
like
up the corner.
like
yes, sir. He got out of the corner so quickly, immediately, after Samurai committed to the jump.
Woo. Needs to be the slide and the fireball, and he's gonna hold it.
Oh, come into the limbs. He's ready for it. Samurai with the V reversal, get off me.
Lots of great life. Recovering back on both sides. The fireball exchange, great tech, teleport out. Evades the sweep. Oh, no, it could be CA, but he waited. He knows he wants to kill. V reversal back, Samurai in kill zone. Look at the gray life on the side of
He's willing to keep doing it.
Oh, the EXDP, the throw, and that's gonna be it. Samurai.
Unbelievable patience.
I think it is.
Got himself a nice hat. If that was his actual hair, that'd be great. Oh, you know?
No, it wouldn't. No. I don't know why you say that, Vicious. Come on. Come on, man. Okay.
I'm just keeping you on your toes, Steve. That's fine. Okay, big time punish. I lied. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
It'd have been funny if he was wearing the
baseball outfit. Yeah. Can't win them all, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that interruption from the Tiger Knee.
DP looking a little samurai-ish right there.
Oh, another DP.
One. Walk up to him. He said it. You don't have to use the fireballs. You got to take the space.
I think now in this space. Oh, I was going to say.
The first fireball he threw, he was ready. And look at that. Completely changed the tide of the game because he threw a fireball. Gonna get a chance.
Oh, yeah. The side switch. Unblockable.
Oh, my. Oh.
A ton of scaling on that, but I think a backdoor will do it.
Oh.
In your face, Tiger up. Oh my goodness, that could have connected into a Tiger uppercut.
Back throw.
Nice work, Automatic. Keeping the composure. Even the guys that were watching that, they saw the Tiger shot, they're like, oh, and then the crouch jab. Oh, that would have been godlike.
That was
either way,
actually just sick. No matter what.
Yeah, still got the round.
Oh, he just beat out a Tiger shot with that stand medium kick. Oh. Okay, gets the crush. Combo, carries him to the corner, gets the meaty as well. Automatic's gonna have to be careful right here. We've seen...
Big time uppercut, big time gamble.
Really close to CA, doesn't have it yet. Automatic has triggered. Confirms to the hit. Side switch
I
again.
love that sequence. Automatic, just so clean with it.
Oh,
You're out.
No,
Nope.
you're done. Done and done. The CA on reaction to the V trigger duel. Kevin makes it quick. 2-0 versus and set point on top of that. Duel Kevin might be up next to fight against Smugs G, and I don't know how he feels about it, but I know it's gonna be tough no matter what. Look at how Smug just wants to walk into this range. Crouch jab, low forward fireball. He's met with some contention. Samurai not letting him get too comfortable, but he wants that knockdown. And he's trying to just, I like the usage of the B reversals. That way you're gonna get some damage no matter what. Man, he's ready with those EX to get the knockdown. That was so much lucky. Stand jab, stand light kick, EX.
The command grab,
Lots of damage, not dead.
and he gets a P level up.
Oh, he might be now. Oh,
My God. The timing is immaculate. The frame kills are perfect, and Smug eliminates the Samurai 2-0.
You know, convincing that.
How many frames he stood there for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Oh, 12. I believe that is Diaz.
That's what I'm talking about.
Decent.
Cured his death while Smug had the critical.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very smart decisions. Despite losing that round, I think it was very, very smart. Something to take note of.
Hold the jump in.
Check out the low forward from Smug. Another one.
Look at the range he's playing at. That stand medium kick range for Rashid is that crouch medium kick range for G. Forward hard punch
can't
gets
miss
the
a button.
crush. And the side switch, the corner. He wants it. That's a forward throw. He wants you to stay there. Crouching fierce at point blank range. Standing medium kick to push him a little further back. Like I said, you can space it. It's -4.
Duel Kevin sitting on full V trigger. He's gonna do it here. Not
Another.
yet.
Oh, man. EX this time around to keep the pressure. And the washing machine is still going.
There it is.
Overhead.
The
Goes
dunk.
for the throw. Back throw. Wait a minute.
I can't believe it.
Oh.
Activate. Sitting still. Duel Kevin's gonna sit here and block all day. That's fine. He'll take that first throw.
I don't know. He ain't
Don't
gonna
take the
keep
command
blocking.
grab. Oh, no.
He's not going to keep blocking. In fact, he's going to test the dash with a jab. Duel Kevin.
All right. In their previous matchup, Team Frost opted to ban Dulcim, seeing Dank Diaz and his unique style of play with the character to be a problem. Unable to do so this time around, Frost's strategy was interesting, to say the least, while targeting Smug for the ban. They opted to ban his previous main Balrog, instead of a character that he has recently mained in G. Smug took full advantage of having G in his arsenal and made quick work of both Sherry Genix and Samurai. Frost has also had a curious ban in Week 5 when they banned Karen away from CJ Truth and Team Spirit. Do you agree with Frost's game planning this week, Mortsy?
So thinking about why Balrog. Obviously they can't ban Sim because we did that already. He must feel that either Duel Kevin hates Smug's Balrog, and they felt that it was more of an issue than the G. Because basically with the ban this time around, they're just being like, all right, who do we want to play against? Who do we want Smug to play? That's their ban. And they felt that they have a better chance against a 4-framer. And I think that is a very big thing there, but also the V-skill being very strong against Whirlwind Shot. For Balrog, I think. Don't quote me on that. Just saying. It just makes sense if it did. So, I really think they're just like, we can deal with a 4-framer. You saw, man. EX Whirlwind Shot, still doing work. Forward throw, EX Whirlwind Shot. You're, like, it just continues. You have to take another throw. And that's, God, I would love to see the amount of damage that Rashid gets off throws in him. Ooh. Give us statistics in the game, please. But if they felt far more comfortable against the G than the Balrog, I think it makes a lot of sense.
All right. Okay. SplicedHelix, thoughts on the ban of Balrog? Is it curious or was it genius?
Well, I think it's just you can't tell because you're not in the huddle for the team. But I'm sure they had reasons. It's not just let's ban Balrog today for just giggles. I think there was a reason behind it. It worked. It made me clairvoyant. So, it's like Mortsy said. Maybe possibly Dual Kevin had a problem with Balrog and said, "Listen, I don't want to play against him. I'll take out everybody else, but I don't want to play against Balrog." And they didn't, and they won.
Ideas for next season Street Fighter League: get us in the huddle for when they talk about the bans before the match.
Also, hire the NFL's next gen stats and put them in Street Fighter League.
That would be absolutely crazy.
I would love to see my #1 wish list. I think for Street Fighter, in terms of not gameplay, not in terms of balance, but in terms of just fluff, would be like a damage source stats. Number of times a move hit, amount of damage it did total. I guess including scaling. So I guess that'd be like a percentage of thing, and that way we could see look at how much damage he got off a throw. Look at how much damage poison did, which is my main thing. I would love to see is how much does poison actually do in a round? Because then
how much damage he did because he activated his V trigger.
Yeah, and then you can see stuff like this is how much he did while he was in V trigger. This is how many command grabs that you got hit by. Mind you, you can count that because it's how many combos you died to.
How much damage did Nash lose after canceling low forward into V trigger?
How much damage did Nash lose after he got hit by a dump truck after season 1?
Yeah, so that's something I'd really like to see, and it would add a lot to analysis as well to be like, okay, this is where he's getting a lot of damage. And you can go and look at someone else's. You could go to a high player match, and you could actually compare between Smug G versus Strider G. This is how much damage they're getting out of they're in these tools.
Yeah,
and that might be really interesting.
Yeah, it comes down to these are the decisions that they're making. These are the tools that they're deciding to use based on what they're getting. Yeah, exactly. That would be interesting. Get us some stats, Street Fighter League. Get us some stats, Capcom. All right. As previously mentioned, Samurai was the target for the ban by Team Psycho, who were looking to avoid a repeat of their previous matchup where Samurai was the anchor for the reverse sweep OCV. This time around, Samurai found himself in the second position with the face of the franchise taking on the now unbanned Dulcim of Dankadius, a matchup that Team Frost avoided in their first matchup altogether. In what may appear to be a shocker, however, some clever use of gray damage saw Samurai narrowly escape with a victory over the Dulcim main, sealing a crucial game victory for Team Frost. Was this Samurai's win, or did Dankadius blow a golden opportunity for Team Psycho? SplicedHelix.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, the answer to both of those questions, they're both parts of that question is yes. I love watching Samurai work on Ryu, on Akuma, either way. I love the way his brain works when he's in a match, and that was smart play. The way he handled that was smart play, and I think that was him doing what he does, playing Street Fighter smart, playing Street Fighter well, and taking that win. And yes, I think Dankadius blew a golden opportunity because who's going to think that Ryu's going to beat Dulcim? Nobody plays Dulcim. Nobody plays Ryu. So out of those two characters and tier lists and just this general skill on Dankadius on his main, as opposed to a Ryu that kind of got shuffled to the back burner. I think he dropped the ball a bit.
Mortsy, talk to me about Dankadius. Did he drop the ball?
Firstly, yes, but secondly, I will not stand for any Dulcim downplay whatsoever. Sim is a messed up character. He has a +2 on block throw bait that loops into itself, 19 frame gap. Nonetheless, no Sim downplay.
I'm not downplaying Sim. I play Guile. Come on.
I don't know how that matchup is.
That's horrible.
For Sim?
No,
for Guile.
Anyway, I also don't know the matchup between Ryu and Sim, so I'm not sure how it would normally go. in this case, it is one, like Helix said, a combination of the two of Dank, because this was actually, I think this was similar to the lore to Rob TV IDOM to me. I was expecting Dank to be the one to carry this win. This was what decided the set, I think. Not Dual Kevin losing or beating Smug. It was Dank or Samurai being able to eliminate Dank Diaz, so he didn't have to play Dual Kevin. And I think that was the most. Has Samurai popped off harder than that? He looked more happy with this win than I've seen him be happy with.
That was a pretty good pop off.
Like, he actually seemed excited, and this, because that, I think, was far more important than whatever Dual Kevin was playing, because it prevented Dank and Diaz from having a chance to play against Rashid, and that was massive. So we can attest to that as well, that the player order mattered a lot here, because they weren't able to snipe the Rashid Sim matchup, which is weird to say.
Yeah,
it's really weird to say.
I'll stop you for a sec, because I want to toot your horn a little bit. You did touch on the fact that Dank Diaz probably knows that particular matchup better than any other Dhalsim player out there. So, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is I think if he had been able to had a chance to play it, there was no, like, he would have Psycho would have won this one, and that's why I had them. So on that note, congratulations, SplicedHelix. Yeah, that was my reasoning too, for sure.
What do I win? Oh, you have to send me something Canadian. That was the deal.
I'll get
you something. Be a Canadian gold star? It's just a maple leaf, but gold.
No.
I could actually get him a gold dipped maple leaf, which is kind of fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, and Samurai did a fantastic job. I really like how he uses V reversal offensively against Dhalsim. It's really, really interesting. Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. And building up that guy life. And then I think he could DP more when Sim is in the air. And when thinking about it as a Fang player, it's just like, man, I wish I could DP every time he's floating above me. So I see other people not taking advantage of it, and it makes me like, bro, you have the tools. Please do it for me. Do it for all the non-DP characters. Punch that mother out of the sky. Knock him down. Smack down. Yeah, no. Samurai did a fantastic job, and it's really exciting that he's picking up wins against mains on a Ryu secondary.
We definitely have to count the stats for that one. How many wins that he's actually picked up, game wins that have been crucial for Team Frost.
I'll put together like a thing for secondary win. That might be cool.
All right.
Anyways, yeah. So great job to Samurai, Dank. It sucks. Just have to pull out. I think both teams, both Spirit and Psycho, are like one win from being eliminated.
Yeah.
At this point. So, time to put your team on your back, man.
Yeah, no, I think one of the things that was overlooked, you talked about the DPs a little bit, but that one genius play that set up all that Gray Life, not just the V reversal, but the first combo knockdown after making Dank Diaz whiff the button by crossing under and then landing the DP combo on landing frames was absolutely sick by Samurai, and it's amazing to watch him play a Shoto. It really is. So, we might not be talking about this if not for Samurai, but the real Dual Kevin may have finally shown up. The stats don't lie. While on Rashid, Team Frost's record has not been stellar. Dual Kevin and Sherry Genix as well, until this point, have been unable to carry the team when Samurai is forced onto a secondary. Dual Kevin seemed determined to make sure Samurai's win against Dank Diaz counted, solidly defeating Automatic Sagat, even though I'd let the clip run long by accident, and we saw a bit of the brilliance on the part of Automatic, and Smug's G to earn the victory for Team Frost with 3 weeks to go, and Akuma available for 2 of those weeks. Frost seems poised now to earn that top 4 playoff spot and putting themselves in the 2nd through 4th logjam in the standings with a win. How impressive was Dual Kevin's play this past week? And though it does seem enough for a top 4 spot, where do you think Team Frost finishes heading into the playoffs at Capcom Cup? Mortsy.
Darn it, you did hit me first. Hold on. I want to look at the stats, obviously. I think Dual Kevin, it's really great that Dual Kevin is doing well. And it's nice that he's picking up wins. It's also very important that he does so when he does have Rashid. It's just like with IDOM, same thing. It's with every team. It's when Strider has G, it's when Punk has Karen. JB Rashid, it's just if you have your main and you're a stronger player on your team, you need to be winning. So he picked up 2, right? Yeah, he beat Automatic and he beat Smug.
Yeah. I think that puts him at 3-2 now with Rashid. I think
most likely
because he was 1-2 after last week. I think, but we'll double check the stats later. I remember bringing it up last week. But yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's really important that he's been winning. And it's great. It's good. It means they're still in the running. I think a loss here would have made it very difficult for them to continue, or at least to really put themselves in the head-to-head. But this gives them a solid 2-win lead with 3 wins left over the other 2 teams. I think right now, yeah, you want good seeding, but it's just about being in that top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's going to be, we can talk about who's going to get first, but what's really important is how these how close can Psycho and Spirit make this where they're trying to make the top 4.
Yeah. It's
going to come down to them. And right now, I can say, I do think Frost most likely next week, they're head-to-head against Inferno.
That's big. That is a big matchup for them.
It is huge. They've already played Storm. I don't have the result on my thing. I'm assuming they won?
I will double check for
against Storm.
You.
Sure. What was that week? 7?
Was it last week that they played Storm?
It was.
It was last week, and they lost. Okay, so that's actually big as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're 3-3. So Storm has the head-to-head. Unless, anyway. So it's gonna be really important for the teams. Yeah, obviously they play Spirit and they play Spirit, Inferno, and Gale. Gale's gonna be rough. Spirit, they have to win. Like, you cannot give up losses to the bottom 2 teams anymore. That cannot happen, especially when you're trying to stay in top 4. If you lose, you cannot lose these head-to-heads anymore. Obviously, they just beat Psycho, so that's very, very, very helpful. So it's going to come down to, like, the Gale one. I think it's gonna be decided before Gale. It's not gonna before the last week. It's going to be this next week is going to be incredibly important to who is going to be making it, because most of them are the head-to-heads between teams that are in the run and teams that aren't.
Okay, so we do have to talk about the tiebreaker just a little bit, because you did just bring it up. And you brought up Frost versus Storm. In week 2, first week of the season, Samurai OCV'd, so they won 3-2.
So they're tied then.
So they are actually exactly tied. So it'll be very interesting to see how the next tiebreaker down works, because I don't actually know.
Right.
Because they're both 3-2 going.
It might be record. So because they won 3-2, if they lose, perhaps like 3-1, technically Storm would have the advantage because they had a better.
Yeah,
score.
it's games won, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it the tiebreaker?
Okay. Let me take a look to make, because it was 3-2, I think, right?
Well, they haven't played Storm yet. I don't think. Right.
Storm and Frost, they've played twice already.
Oh yeah, they played the week 1. Yeah. What was it? Was both of them were 3-2?
Both of them were 3-2. That's why I'm interested to see what the other tiebreaker is going to be after that.
Rounds, and yeah, I guess it would be games then. Eh?
Strength of games.
It's games. That's what it was last season.
Well, I'm not doing that math.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that later. But
they do it on the show.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know they'll do it, but it would be nice to talk about. Anyways, I think that Frost picks up. It's going to be tough. Actually, one of the 2 matches that I genuinely don't know. Actually, I think Frost beats Inferno. We'll talk about that because it's next week. We'll talk about that when I go over the stats. But against against Spirit, I'm very interested because yeah, I'm very, very interested. Because that'll come down to like Cammy and Rashid, most likely. But I do think, obviously, it's very important. I think they should be okay. Though, I think the team that will be on the chopping block, if other teams, I think we already have our top 4, actually, honestly.
Okay.
Gale, Inferno, Spirit. or Storm and Frost.
Yeah,
right?
I think that is most likely going to be the top 4 just due to the records, and it is a huge, huge, huge hill to climb. Mountain to climb would be better. Like, you have to play perfectly, and I would love to be wrong, because I think that would be really interesting. I don't see it happening.
That would take some pretty big upsets.
It would be massive. It would be massive. The issue is that Inferno still gets to play Psycho.
Yeah.
And so does Storm. I mean, I guess, yeah. So even though they're all tied, there's still Inferno and Storm still have Psycho. So that's technically, he's not a free win.
It's arguably a free win. Arguably. Yeah. Okay. Let's put you guys on the spot. I wanted SplicedHelix to also answer the question, but let's just baseline the question.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So let's baseline the question for both of you. They are in the top 4. Where in the top 4 do you put them? SplicedHelix first.
I just rattled mine off. Gale, Inferno, Storm, Frost.
All right. Finish in 4th. Mortsy.
I'm saying Frost is 3rd. I think Inferno's last.
You know what?
All right, so last week we touched on it a little bit. We opened the show with it. It was a lot to open up with.
Ooh,
but we
never mind. I take that back. Actually, sorry.
All right, go back.
Yeah. Sorry. Because Inferno has Spirit and Psycho left.
Okay. Yikes.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I think actually Frost. Yeah, I still think Frost is in 3rd though. I just don't know whether Inferno will be last. I think there might be a tiebreaker. I think that's a couple of the teams are going to end up. The bottom 2 will end up with the same record, and then it'll come down to a tiebreaker.
All right. All right. So based on what I was talking about earlier last week, we started to touch on it a little bit. Some stats regarding ban restrictions and that made more in-depth predictive analysis possible this season going into the second half. Let's take a closer look. By crunching the number with BTF's now resident stat boy Mortsy going into week 9. Go ahead, Mortsy.
Alrighty. So last week we talked about the previous week in Gale, or we talked about week 7, and then we talked about what we were or the matchup moving forward for the next week. So we're going to do a similar thing. We talked about week 8 last week and our predictions, and I was right for both the first 2 matches, but I did not expect the Balrog ban Frost. I think that's probably a similar sentiment from most people. Obviously, we're all expecting the G ban. G is the flavor of the month, or the flavor of the patch. So we were kind of expecting to see a G ban, but the Balrog was banned, and then I got the guess wrong. Inferno did win, and then Spirit Spirit lost on the back of Rob TV, on the crumbling back of IDOM, and the muscly, athletic back of Rob TV. Obviously, Dude's the one who's picked up the wins, but I think that even then, I think Rob TV taking down Laura, and that was a lot of the times I'm basing my matchups, the matchup wins, on specific players having their character and being able to run free. So when someone has that, I'm dead ass wrong. I'm 100% gonna be wrong, and that's fine because I think those upsets make it a little more interesting. But nonetheless, and then I was incorrect, Togo's incorrect, and Helix was correct. Week 9, we've got Gale, Psycho, Inferno Frost, and Spirit Storm. Inferno Frost, very important because it is one of the head-to-heads for the teams that are tied, and these matchups are going to be very, very important, as it's going to determine the seeding. Technically, being 2nd and 3rd is irrelevant. It's either you don't want to be 4th, because 2nd and 3rd are playing each other, and once they are fighting against each other, like you're fighting against each other. Even if you're like, oh, I beat the 3rd place person and got 2nd, it's just like, well, you're just playing the same person that you would have played anyway.
Brackets.
Yeah, exactly. Although, how did we do it last time? It was because it was like a weird where the bottom 2. No, it was different. It was the bottom 2 played, and then the winner played the 2nd place, and then it was grands, wasn't it? Or did we do 2-2?
They did 2-2. It was 1-4 versus 2-3, and then.
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. Okay, so Gale Psycho. Let's do a quick rundown. We had Sim and Karen banned last week. Karen completely, I think, blew most of our minds in terms of the ban. That was certainly off the left field, but and who won that? I think Gale still won that. Yeah, Gale won most. But what this means is that Psycho has pretty much whatever ban they want on the table, which is really nice. The issue being that for this one, and it is really interesting. There's a few matchups. I think 4 more matchups in the next few weeks where the bans become very awkward due to character overlap between the 2 teams. So in this case, between Gale and we're going to be seeing this trend a lot, between Gale and Psycho, it is the G. Neither team banned it, and that's the other trend, is that no one banned. If they had an overlapping character, neither team banned it in the first time. So they're basically leaving up to their opponents whether or not they want to ban. I literally just thought of this. Can teams ban the same character by accident?
Like the same character twice?
Like, no. Like, so if they do a head-to-head and they're both like, fuck G.
Yeah.
And they both...
Oh, yeah, because they both... It's blind. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
actually possible, yeah. That might be interesting.
Like,
So then you only have one character.
I don't understand. I can't believe there has to be something in place that has prevented this. I don't understand. I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen this happen. If that is possible, because obviously
Who
you
else
can't
would
be
it
like,
have happened with?
what do you mean?
Like,
What
everybody
other
plays
pair of
G.
teams would it have
Inferno Frost with Rashid, Storm, Psycho, and Gale with G.
Yeah.
So any of those matchups, I think there might have been. I think those are the main ones that were weird. There's no other Ibuki players. No one's gonna ban. Yeah. You could do technically Spirit and Inferno, but I think you're reaching there with Karen. Hella reaching.
Gale Storm with Mika?
The only safeguard that I would see in place is the bans are blind, but they go to one team first, but neither team knows. So if they say we ban G, they can say no, G's already banned, ban again, right? That would be the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, and they'd have to put them on the spot, but that puts you at a huge disadvantage because you have to pick it right there. That just seems
That also seems kind of unfair to the other team.
Yeah, whoever gets it second, they might have an advantage. Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
So I wonder whether or not they can mirror the bans. Anyways, yeah, so that's an interesting thought. But so this is super awkward because the G ban is awkward for both. So my anticipated, I feel like I keep lighting up based on which tab I have. Yeah.
That's all right.
You can see the tabs on my gunners too, so it's kind of funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I have either. So what can happen here is that it's really interesting actually. If Gale bans, so they banned Karen last time. I have a really hard time believing that they won't ban Ibuki. Psycho won't ban Ibuki here. That makes a lot of sense. I just do not see them banning G ever. One, because it puts Smug in an awkward position where all he has is Balrog. And on that note, if Gale does the biggest brain read possible, where they're like, if they ban G, we can ban Balrog.
Yep.
And it forces them. That is the huge brain. And honestly, you're not going to ban G anyways, right? As Gale, you're not going to ban G. You already banned Sim. So the other thing that you would ban is like Sagat. So I think I'm under the impression Gale's going to ban Balrog, and Gale or Psycho will either ban Cammy, or they will ban Ibuki. And either is fine. Smug has an incredible track record against Ibuki as Balrog. But based on this, they're not going to see it. But if they do see, if they think that, oh yeah, they won't ban Rog, then they can try and go for the Gambit, the Psycho Gambit, and hope. But I hope they think this through.
Yeah.
Because if they ban Cammy, thinking that they can get Balrog, and I think Gale just goes for the easy ban of Balrog, then they're going to be in a very poor situation. I mean, they just play G, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smug just plays G anyway, so it's not actually a terrible gambit. Yeah, so I gave the advantage to Gale. It's super awkward, but I just think that it's super awkward mainly for Psycho because Gale doesn't really care.
It'll be great if Psycho says, we don't want to deal with Knuckledu's G, and then
that would
Gale
be
bans Balrog. It would just be fair.
We're gonna see Karen from Smug or something ridiculous. He used to play Smug. I know because I beat him online when he was platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I was gold. I literally saved the screenshot because I was like, I fucking did it. This was like the year the game came out, so it was that was a long time ago. He had like 9K points, and I was like, this is the highest points person I've ever fought. Anyways, on to Inferno Frost. So this is another super, super awkward ban. Inferno Frost, both players have Rashid available for ban. They banned Akuma Karen last week. So now we have Rashid and Rashid available. There's no... Like, this is so weird, dude. This matchup is messed... This is actually going to be messed up. I have... My expectation is one of these teams might ban Rashid. The most likely would be coming from Frost banning Rashid. And then the issue is like, who the hell do you ban on Frost? Do you ban Nikali?
I actually
disagree. Right? Do you ban G anticipating the Rashid ban?
You disagree on the Rashid ban?
No, I think Inferno will ban Rashid.
Really?
Yeah. I think they take dual Kevin out of the equation.
But you have to deal with Samurai. Regardless, you have to deal with Samurai.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like
That's
both
why
teams are in this situation where they're like, we only want to deal with one of our opponents. This is actually really interesting because the dynamic on both teams is very, very similar.
Can you write that down just so that I remember that I think that Inferno is going to ban
You think
Rashid?
Inferno? All right, yeah,
Okay,
I'll throw it in here.
Write that down because I actually think that's going to be very, very interesting. When you said Frost was going to do it, I'm like, I disagree completely. I really think Inferno is going to do it.
I think Broly takes his first win next week.
You think Broly wins?
I think he takes his first win. Against who? I don't know, but I think he's going
to...
Like, I genuinely think that both teams might just do throwaway bans. They're gonna throw a ban, or neither team will ban Rashid, and they'll do they'll do throwaway bans. They'll ban like Nikali and Chun, just to really, really spite each player's third player.
Broly's got a Bison though.
Does he really? Yeah, oh my goodness.
You don't remember that from last season?
Yeah, no, I was laughing about that. Well, let's talk. I want to talk about this matchup just a little bit more. Do you think that they've thought about the player orders, and do you really, really think they're gonna get Sherry versus Broly?
That would be hilarious.
That'd be great.
Especially
first match.
That means in the over/under of half a game, one of them is actually gonna win.
That would actually be really interesting. That'd be funny, and it'll be very important for the pride of either person.
Let's go, Broly.
On that note, I do think Frost has the advantage. Akuma is available.
Yeah, that's
a really huge. Obviously, Karen is also available for Punk, but I think Samurai's style lends him to have an advantage in this matchup. Obviously, you get buffered on your losing half your health as Akuma, but I give the advantage to Frost. Yeah.
Hater.
Now. Spirit Storm, not as important. It is important for Spirit, and obviously you need to pick up the win as Storm to keep the head-to-head. The matchups that are going to be important, obviously, is the head-to-heads between the tied teams.
I will touch on the tiebreakers after we're finished the segment, but
sure,
because I have them in front of me. So
right. So originally, this is going to be a slobber knocker between these two teams. It's going to most likely come down to. I don't have actually an advantage for this one. It's going to come down. Because in the first week, it was G banned by Spirit and Laura banned by, which means that both of these characters are free. So, I think it's easy bans this time around. We're banning Sim and we're banning most likely Armika. They're not going to want to deal with that, which means Urian will be available. Tommy Two Step's going to get to play his character, though it would be interesting to see if he plays Chun instead, if he ends up against Idom right away, because Chun has much stronger neutral control and access to a 3-frame and a reversal. 3-frame being incredibly important after command grab. As you still you trade against Laura, but it's still not like, obviously you'd like to be able to, he can't shoulder after a command grab. Again, I don't have an advantage. I'd really love to hear what you guys think in terms of what the bans might be. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy. Like I said, it's going to be like Armika Sim.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I think this is the week. This would have been the week where if Spirit was still in it, they might have considered banning Urian. The fact that they're not means they're just going to take Armika. They're just going to take the easy button, try to really, really hammer down to make sure that they have a shot at winning this matchup. They don't, my opinion.
I don't think
I'm picking Storm.
I don't think anybody on this panel is going to pick Spirit.
Really? I think
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Helix, you got Storm as well.
Yeah.
I want to think that they might ban, because obviously both of CJ's characters are available, but the thing is you don't really know. He doesn't seem to care who he plays. He'll play whatever suits him at the time. So either bans aren't fantastic. That's why I was thinking you take out the Sim, you make it about the 2 people as opposed to also having to deal with Sim. But again, G has a fantastic matchup against Laura, or against Sim. Actually, I think he does also really well against Laura, frankly.
Yeah, they excel the same. Yeah, I think.
Well,
so
it's
too.
more that G has really good answers to clap. Like she crouch light kick and sweep.
His sweep. Yeah, I was gonna say. My goodness.
Give it the Fang, dude. Jesus. Yeah, I think that you can certainly. I'm also gonna put Storm. I don't think they have an advantage, but I do think they're gonna win. Would be the way I'm gonna put that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If they lose this makes it very hard for them to make a comeback.
Going with your gut instead of the numbers, huh?
Sorry? Yeah. Well, it's more that like if you play Psycho or Spirit, you need to win, because it will give you an advantage against the other teams because they're not head-to-heads. So it gives you an up for when the head-to-heads will come into play. Obviously the head-to-heads are more important, but it's just like, obviously you want to put, I say obviously a lot. You need to
obviously you do.
You need to put yourself in the best position possible. Technically you just say like they need to win every game. Duh. But yeah, so I think Storm's gonna have there's no advantage because both Laura, unless we take into account how Adam played this past week. But yeah, so in the end we've got Gale, Frost, and Storm coming out ahead for next week. Everyone, that's a nice consensus. You all think?
Yeah.
Very interesting to see.
Sorry, what?
Not SplicedHelix for Frost Inferno.
Exactly. It will be, a lot of this hinges on how the bans play out. We could see Psycho managing to pick it up because Smug has, if they manage to get Balrog without having to deal with Cammy, it can be very interesting to see how well Smug does due to being incredibly versed in the Ibuki matchup. I think he switched to Balrog against Fujimura and he posted him. Like, not even close.
Yeah, and another important thing to point out, in this season, we've already seen Balrog versus Cammy, and Smug won.
True.
And that was
on the back of an insane V-Trigger 1 comeback, and I don't think that's consistent, right?
Yeah. But that is something to point out, that he did, in fact, win. Let me bring up the tiebreaker real quick so that we know exactly what's going on, especially with this logjam that we've got between second and fourth. The leader of the tiebreaker is actually Team Storm right now. It goes Team Storm in second, Team Inferno in third, and Team Frost in fourth.
Is that just based on like looking at the standings? Yeah.
That's currently as they are. That's how they're listed. That means I assume they've applied all of the tiebreakers. So this tiebreaker scenario should hold for the rest of the season until
Obviously depends on the head-to-heads.
Until this coming week when Frost plays Inferno, then their head-to-heads change. That's the only
Frost, actually, let's think about the head-to-heads real quick. Just point them out at least. So next week, Frost Inferno. There's none in the week 10, and then week 11 has no. The only head-to-head left
is this week.
Is tomorrow. This week?
Yeah. So we're only talking about another head-to-head again in the final week of round robin if Gale and Frost have the same record.
Which means, so it's... Oh, and it's not even Storm. Storm's done all their head-to-heads.
Storm's done all their head-to-heads, and they're on top of the tiebreaker, so that's going to be important moving forward.
That's huge.
Yeah.
If they win, if they're tied with any of the teams below them, they win.
Yeah. So Storm easily top 2 as long as they keep winning, and that's something very, very interesting to see. So that's your tiebreaker. Current standings, as I brought out earlier, we'll just recap them real quick. Gale in first, Storm in second, Inferno in third, Frost in fourth, and unfortunately the cursed teams of Spirit and Psycho once again at the bottom of the table. 3 more weeks left in the Street Fighter League Pro US season. Like last season, this season's iterations of Psycho and Spirit are on the outside looking in. Need to win right now. Team Inferno surging towards that top spot. Team Gale holds down the fort, at least for now. Week 9 of Street Fighter League Pro US airs tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and on YouTube. Video footage from Street Fighter League Pro US is used with permission from Capcom. Follow the Capcom Pro Tour and Street Fighter League on Twitch at twitch.tv/CapcomFighters, on YouTube at youtube.com/CapcomFightersTV, and on Facebook Live at facebook.com/CapcomFighters. For the panel, SplicedHelix, Mortsy, and myself, togashiazrael, thank you for watching. We will see you next Wednesday on Beyond the Fist. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.
Bye-bye.